What up, everybody? My name is Van Gaither, Platinum Mics, chilling here with my co-host, my man Sean, Counterculture Robs. Shooting our first installment of Platinum Mics, man. We're going to be talking a lot of hip-hop, a lot of street talk, everything centered around music. So just to give y'all a little quick, bring y'all up to speed how this came to be, we always at the job, having the barbershop talk, top 5, greatest 5, top 10, best albums. We decided to do the podcast, Platinum Mics, the podcast. Here with my man, Counterculture Robs. Today we're going to start you off with our top 5, Let It Ride, all the way through top 5 albums. Our personal favorites. We're not saying these are the best ever. We're just saying these are our personal favorites. So if anybody, you got your own personal favorites, feel free to comment below. Want to introduce you to my co-host here, Counterculture Robs. What's up, big dog?
Ain't nothing, man. Sean Robs, Counterculture Robs, let it flow, man.
Let it flow?
I remember the first time you said counterculture, you know what I mean? But, let it flow. One word,
Counterculture Robs.
So, this right here, we can talk about this all day long, and that's how it happens, you know what I'm saying? So, we gonna make it happen. We gonna have some different takes. And I believe my man over here is going to have some similar takes that a lot of people have. But, I'm here to mix it up, though, because, this music talks to all of us different. And I think that's where you're going to get the diversity of what we about to fill y'all in with.
Speaking of that, man, go ahead and get the party started. We're doing our top 5, not in any particular order. It's just our fave 5. Go ahead and kick it off, my man. What you got?
All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and say Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, OutKast.
Oh, you killing me, dog.
So that's a share.
It is.
So if that's something that is in common, there are some things that are just undeniable. So being from the South, that's gonna speak to you a type of way that when we start getting the other albums, they may not do that for you. But that one right there, just the melodies, the beats, and the familiarity, and also just the talent that we finally get to see from people from the South.
True lyricism from the South.
That probably wasn't there before.
Okay.
So, the South has had a presence before that, but this is different. This is now part of what I've always grew up on, hip-hop. As long as I've been alive, you turn the radio on, hip-hop has been there.
And for me, it was the perfect album. You always hate it when I say this. From a production standpoint as well. That's another conversation later, y'all. But when you throw the lyrics in there along with the production, it was the perfect album, sonically, lyrically. And at that time, I've heard a lot of cats say in New York, the thing about the Nas album is that's where Nas was at that time in his life. And for me, that Southern Playalistic joint, that's where I was at that time in my life. And like you said, that familiarity, that Southwest Atlanta, East Point, College Park, that album right there, for me, man, one of my best albums all time.
All right, yeah, I get that. So I'm just going to give you a little background, too. It's a generation gap going on right
now. Yeah.
So we probably got to spend not quite a decade, but close to that. So, where you may have been at during that time,
yeah,
and where I'm at during that time, you're going to see how that kind of can play into what we feel about a certain album, too.
Which is going to make this a nice contrast because you're going to say some stuff, and I'm going to be like, there you go, that hip-hop Dalmatians mess. That Ren 1010, here we go.
Yeah, never that, but I get it.
Oh, my God. What's my man name? Hakeem Lyons, drippity drop.
But yeah, straight up that OutKast, and to me, that's just the kickoff of a run that they went on that I don't know what you picked, but which one of the OutKasts of they first, in my opinion, 3 could have been that play all the way through, right?
You said the first one?
No. I'm saying to me that first one kicked off because their next 3 albums, in my opinion, are the same thing. I don't think there's a skip track that I would say, hey, nah, next one.
Okay.
That's not on that album, and this is what this list is about. There's a lot of albums that I did see that it got 2 or 3 that I do skip though, and this is the first one that came to mind.
What's your favorite track off that joint? Do you have a favorite track? Or you straight up just let it ride? It's all the same.
You know what? I'm gonna let it ride, but you know what? What talked to me in 1990? What was it? 93, 94?
94 when it came out.
Get up, get out, get something.
That was on Goody Mob. No, that was this one. My bad. Yeah. See, for me, it was Ain't No Thing.
Hip Hop Dalmatian. Right.
Because my man was in that joint. CeeLo was in that joint.
See, in that verse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't recall ever
Graduating at all.
So, you know, I'm in school at that time, but, you know, it's a different time. And, you know, that was like, okay. Yeah.
For me, it was Ain't No Thing. Because it gave me that southern vibe with that New York flow, if you will. It still had a little New York in it, but it had that southern melody, that southern feel on that one. What you got next? What's on me next, right? You know what I got to go with? We're not going to be the same on this one. That Jay-Z American Gangster.
Okay.
That one right there, man. The reason I think that album, why it makes the cut for me, when you think about all the guys, like Jay-Z said, you can move music or move drugs. When you think of all the guys that went from the street and started going, that album is the embodiment of hip hop. When you think about all the guys in the streets that got out the street and transition, and when you hear Jay-Z talk about, you know, the boys in blue to put the badge before the duffel bag before the badge, paying these cats off, it's just a straight up street album. The American come up and just a rise of a dude that's just creating something from nothing. And when you think about American Gangster, everything before that, everything that was preceded before that, and now you're here. And at the very beginning, the intro of the album, I got my own company. Today we're talking about Black Wall Street. Jay-Z was on that Having Your Own back then. That album for me, when Jay-Z talks, he paints a picture. Just like he said in the one song, I'm painting you a picture, painting you a portrait. Can you see the picture yet? When he rapping, when he going, it's like I can just close my eyes and just hear it, just see it, just feel it. And that album right there is just American come up for me, which is why I had to throw that one in there.
Okay.
Shout out, say hi to the bad guy, say hello. Homie Toon from Ben Hill, Heritage Valley that did that one, but go ahead.
All right. Word. Yeah, Jay-Z, that's probably not one of my joints that I rock with him on that. And he does, in my opinion, have some that could go on this list. Those just ain't that just isn't there.
Are you familiar with it at all though, or you just straight up bypassed it?
No, I heard it. I give a lot of stuff a initial listen to, and that probably tells me if I want to hear it again. That's one that it was played more than once, but you know, it may have been around some people that I was around that I'm getting to hear it, so it ain't necessarily my playback.
Gotcha.
So if we wanna stick to that, then I'll give you number 2, and I will stay in that Jay-Z lane. I'm gonna go Reasonable Doubt.
Oh, here we go.
So
Reasonable Doubt classic. Shoulda went triple.
Yeah. If you wasn't there, you wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
I get it.
I wasn't there.
So musically,
okay,
the beats were.
Don't do that.
It's a nice melody, chilling, and it goes all over the place. I love Primo. I love the producers. And I right now I'm drawing a blank, but I know it's multiple producers.
It was over 20 years ago
that created a cohesive sound. And
now I will give it that. With all the diversity, I'm not gonna say it sounded like one producer, but it wasn't scattered. Right. It wasn't all over the place. Like you said, they lined it up perfectly.
That annoys me. That's why I don't like a.
That annoys you?
The scatter.
Oh, the scatter.
You know
my bad. I thought you meant the unison bothered
you.
you.
Someone will have a album, and then here comes a Swiss Beats ruining it.
Oh, come on, man! Don't do Swiss like that. Oh my God! Come on, dog. Hey, we go. Another episode. We got some more episodes for y'all. Y'all hear this right here, Swiss.
But
I just want to say this right there, man. We got an announcement. We have an announcement from our PR department, right? Real quick. The views on Platinum Mics do not represent the views of Platinum Mics. Every host has the right to voice their own opinion. So please do not think all the views of Platinum Mics. Now back to regular scheduled program. But go ahead, dog.
Jigga My Nigga by Swiss Beats, probably one of my favorite beats. So let's not do. I'm not doing Swiss nigga. Like that. But you know, his beats just be different and out there.
I rock with you on that. And we done talked about this before, man. I would go on record and say, man, for me, Reasonable Doubt. You know my views on that album. I love Jay, my dog. I started off with Jay-Z, American Gangster. I just didn't get what everyone else got from Reasonable Doubt.
You started listening to Jay at American Gangster?
No. I'm saying I started the show off with American Gangster. So before people try to say he hating on Jay-Z, I started off with American Gangster as one of my favorite Jay-Z joints. So it's not about Jay-Z. It's just that album just did not, I just didn't feel what the rest of the world felt on that album. I don't feel that was his best work. Right. That's just me. And we got one more we're going to talk about. We probably in agreement on. I just didn't feel that was it.
All right. Yeah. I love that album, and that's the kickoff to what he became. And in my opinion, I didn't care for albums after that as much.
Really?
Maybe he brought me back in with Blueprint, But to me, his music has been a roller coaster. But that first shot of 9, that's that heroin when it's a 9. His shit was a 10. His shit was a 10.
Okay.
So he did that, and then after that, it was chasing chasing a different high of what I want to hear from him.
That first high,
right?
You can never get back to it.
Blueprint.
Okay.
He came back in Blueprint.
So let me say this. I'm gonna go ahead and go this. I got Blueprint. You got Blueprint? In the top 5.
Not in my top 5, but it's a lot. I got a lot of joints that could have made it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I figured that'd probably be a one that we could conversate about. But it's, let's call that a universal understanding, where we understand. You know what I'm saying, on the same page. I agree, but not necessarily going to be on my.
I got Jay-Z. I got that Blueprint.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite work by Jay-Z. American Gangster 1, Blueprint 2. And the Blueprint, it wasn't as street as the other stuff. Sometimes I can be a little whatever, so I like the flashy stuff. I like the girls of the world and all the other stuff that was on that album. For me, that album was another perfect album, the way he structured that album. Mm-hmm. I really want to go Blueprint 2 as a close one, but I'm going to stick to the first Blueprint. That album was just sick to me.
Blueprint 2.
Oh, man, you didn't feel that one? Oh, there you go, man. Here we go. Boy, it's going to be a fun show. Please let us know what your top 5 Let It Ride are.
But he got some joints, that can see much farther than a giant. I get it, but, wow. You know what? When someone gives me a double disc.
A double CD that don't count?
No, it counts.
Okay.
But you need to throw a star by that.
Put an asterisk by it?
Yeah, that's why it condensed into 1. This Blueprint 2 point whoop whoop whoop, because he knew that was trash, all them extras. Let's make it 1 with the best songs on there. He did that, right?
Yeah, but come on, man. You said hold on, time. Hell no. You said anybody do a double CD, we got to put an asterisk by it. All Eyes on Me, Tupac, asterisk by it?
In my opinion, yeah.
Talk to me, dog.
Yeah.
Talk to me. That was a bad album. It's not in my top 5.
It was.
But it's not in my top.
That was one of that could almost made it. But
it's on the edge.
But there's some songs that I'm like, nah, that ain't it.
It's not a Let It Ride. You skipping.
4 or 5, yeah.
So it's not a Let It Ride then.
And how can you do that with 20-something tracks? 20,
okay, you
tracks.
got 4 or 5 songs you're skipping on 20-something tracks. So by default, it's kicked out. Well, that's not a Let It Ride.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why it's on the board.
Wait a minute, though. It's not on mine, but I just want to holler at you real quick. What 4 or 5 songs on that Tupac joint you kicking out?
I got to pull up the track listing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because for one, I wasn't that big of a Tupac fan anyway.
Blasphemy.
But that was an undeniable great record.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So
okay.
I understand good music when I hear it. So it don't necessarily mean I'm super thugged out or whatever he was screaming. But he can make some good music, and the production, taking all the dazzers and all them records that were their records. Of course, you're gonna have a double disc of everybody's hits, because you got Snoop hits, Daz hits, everybody's hits.
Correct.
So you can't miss. And about 5, 6, 7, 8 times he might have missed on that double disc.
Whew, it's gonna be real fun, y'all.
I got something for you. Are we done with Blueprint?
Yeah, we're done with Blueprint.
All right,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take this, and this is we gonna keep it. We ain't trying to lose you early, because I know the list that I wanted. No, I'm talking about the audience. Well,
hopefully we got some hip hop heads.
Right,
hopefully we got some heads so we don't lose them. And if we do lose them, go ahead.
Initially, what I was gonna come with my, you know what I'm saying? It was like, let's read the room first.
Okay.
Cause you know if I say, you know what, let's go with GOAT, grimiest of all time, a mixtape, one of my favorite albums.
That's another
play all
episode
the
we
way
can do
through,
that, though.
Play all the way through.
We can get to that mixtape
compared
series
to some people's real albums.
before
right?
what you say, before the money machine got behind it.
Let me not throw that out there this early.
Nah, do
'Cause,
you?
You know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So I picked Life After Death, right? And this is one with an asterisk, cause you know that's a double disc. Disc 1, not disc 2. Disc 1.
The first, this one.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I see where you're going with that because that's like the OutKast double CD. For me, no. For me, I'm on the Andre side. I'm on
the neither.
This motherfucker right here. This motherfucker. But my point is, I hear what you're saying about this one versus all of it. Because for me, with that OutKast CD, I was on the disc with Andre. I like Big Boys, but I like the Andre side better.
Gotcha. So
holla at me with Life After Death.
All right, let me see. Let me pull this out real quick.
Oh, take your time, dog. I want to hear this one. Actually, that surprised me. I didn't think you would have went there.
What's that?
On that Life After Death, I've never heard you talk about him.
In 96, 97,
I
chose a side.
Oh, you know what? Okay. All right, everybody, check game. All right. So now, back to how the podcast started. We always at work. We going back and forth. He think I be saying some wild crap. I think he be saying some wild crap. Dog, you could have told me that 3-4 months ago all the time we've been debating. Because I chose a side too. I ain't gonna lie. So now I understand why we got the debate going on. Because I chose a side. I hate that happened in hip hop. That was jacked up. It never should have happened in hip hop. Like the man said in The Godfather, sometimes you got to have war. It cleans the bad blood, but we got past it. You know. What you pulling up? That Life After Death?
I'm
this one?
Pulling up the.
I'm curious to know what your favorite one is.
Can I live to my last day? Getting honeys that be nasty. Getting money in the fast way. And I only care halfway. But I still can't let you pass me.
You was beef to you. 3 niggas with hoodies and bats. They ain't shit compared to one small cat with gats. When we came here, we cut off all kinds of circulation. Breathing, eating, the whole situation. When we do our shit, we...
All right. So Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death, Disc 1. That's the one with Somebody's Gotta Die, Hypnotized, Kicking the Door, Fucking You Tonight, Last Day, I Love the Dough, What's Beef, More Money, More Problems, Niggas Bleed, I Got a Story to Tell. And that is the strongest 3 songs that I believe anyone can end the album with.
What was the last 3 again?
Let's see. Niggas Bleed, I Got a Story to Tell, and More Money, More Problems, which starts that off.
See, I like the album before that one.
Right. It's a little bit more glitzy. It's a little bit
Nah,
more pretty.
bullshit. This one was Hypnotized. They on the boat out in Miami. What you talking about, dude?
Yeah. I mean, got a note for the plaintiff. Your daughter tied up in the Brooklyn basement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty song with some gritty shit that he talking about right there. Niggas bleed just like us. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a nigga, breathing the same air as
So
me.
you saying he went the opposite. He started with the money, then went back gritty.
Nah, this is the grimier half of that double disc.
You think that's...
In my opinion.
I'm talking about the joint with Juicy on it.
Juicy. What do you mean? That was because to me that was a
You're saying that this album, Life After Death, was grimier than that album, is what I'm getting at. I'm not saying it was a grimy album, but you're saying
this is more in detail of that street shit that you see this nigga boss up.
Okay.
And now we talking about, what is beef?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Not just robbing your mom for a #1 mom pendant type shit. I'm talking about, my nigga gutter fucking kidnap kids, fuck them in the ass, throw them over the bridge.
The fuck, Sean?
You know what I'm saying? Where were you in 97? What was you on in 97? You get what I'm saying? So
I chose a side. Shit.
Yeah.
But I was a bigot dude all the way back. My boy Richard was over at Morehouse, man. And he's like, man, you got to hear this. I'm like, what's that? Party and bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out about Biggie.
Right.
That was my first introduction to Biggie. So that might have been, I don't know, man, 92, 93. Forgive me for forgetting. That was a long time ago. I think it was 93. I can't remember.
So that his first album, Ready to Die, could be on this too.
And I'm on with Biggie. I'm Ready to Die. I love the Ready to Die joint.
All the way through.
All the way through. And it was really on the edge of me putting it in, but I just
me and my bit. You know what I'm saying? So but this one here, more polished, more detail, more, and that second half of that album, I just didn't care for a Nasty Boy, Player Hater, Sky's the Limit, World. I like The World Is Filled, but you know what I'm saying? But My Downfall, Long Kiss, and You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You. Love that joint too.
Now, how profound is that, though?
What?
You're nobody till somebody kills you.
Hey.
And then you sell more racks. I think that's so sad, man.
But that's the, all right. I want my hip artists to either go to prison or die.
Why they can't be like LL, man, and just and go on to Snoop Dogg, LL, and go to some greater, bigger things like a drug dealer? Get out the game. You ain't got to die.
Because it gives them enough time to give me whack music. Gives them enough time to fall off.
At Counterculture Rob, y'all, please follow. Please follow. God, I ain't never heard no shit.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, most in early of my favorite artists, if you only give me a little bit of music,
you good.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like 20 albums from you.
That shows longevity, dog. That shows how great you are. It shows how deep your catalog. Huh?
It can.
Okay, but if you can't keep writing for years, like a Jay-Z, like a Nas, then how great are you? Nas still in the game. Jay-Z's still in the game.
This is new to us.
What's new to us? Because that other bullshit was whack. That's why.
No. It's new because,
I'm misunderstanding.
Artists wasn't giving you, when Rakim put out the letter R.
Correct.
That's different from the Rakim Allah that we loved in the 80s.
He ran out of gas. I said it.
So there you go.
He ran out of gas.
So you can't give me 20 albums.
But Jay-Z can. Nas can.
You think?
Nas still doing it. Jay-Z still doing it.
Nas maybe.
Jadakiss just showed the world. He came off the bench, threw 5 touchdowns.
Doing classics.
Huh?
Doing classics.
He was doing classics, but the stage presence still there.
I love the Locks. Styles P is my guy.
Okay.
My favorite.
How many albums your boys got? They deep.
Who?
Griselda. They deep. They may not be 20 albums in, but look how deep they are.
No, they more than 20 albums.
That's my point. So if you good with that pen,
but no, you missing the time frame though.
Okay.
Right now we are only allowing our artists to get old. Well, before we did not let that happen. Like I said with the Rakim, you know what I'm saying? He would do what he did and hit his peak there, and then everything after that, even getting with Dre, couldn't save his career.
Maybe it's because he couldn't adjust to what was coming. Because hip hop did turn. When Rakim hit them early 90s, hip hop took a turn.
Nas, I love Nas. Some of my favorite songs, Nas is light, but Nas maybe what? 5 for 15?
Talking about albums?
Yeah. 5 good ones, 15. So that means 10 of them, like, all right, thank you for coming back.
Have you checked out the new one yet, King's Disease 2?
I checked out part 1, and it didn't make me excited to go to see part 2.
Check out part 2.
I will.
Yeah. Just as a head, just give it a shot.
From a nostalgia standpoint, it may,
Okay.
but Nas spoke. I guess this. It's new, seeing hip hop grow up and be able to.
Hip hop is coming back.
Because
mark my words.
Griselda, they came in the game of most people's knowledge in their late 30s.
Correct.
Where by the time you get to your late 30s,
you're done.
You
Nobody want to hear from you no more.
You washed.
And that's why I say hip hop is slowly going to come back. When I say come back, I mean true lyricism. I'm not knocking the new stuff. I'm not going to be the old mad rapper. It's my 4th album, and I still ain't got on. I ain't going to do that. I'm just saying hip hop as we know it is coming back. That being said, I'm going to move on to my album, my next one, because we got what? We should have 2 more left. Like we should have 4 to talk about. I got 2. You got 2. I got to go with my man Snoop Dogg, Dog Pound.
Okay.
That album right there for me at that time. And there's a story behind that album. I will get to it later. I don't want to, like you said, give them too much and then, lose them. We'll talk about that one later. But seeing that album where it was, Dr. Dre at that time, Snoop lyrically, I don't think Snoop came back after that with the same consistency with lyrics, if you will. But that album, hearing an album, not too much sampling, a lot of live instrumentation, because you know I'm music first. I'll admit that. If you got good lyrics and bad music, that's a F. You got great music, bad lyrics, whatever, that's a F. I like both of them all together. Production, all of that to be tight. And that Snoop Dogg Dog Pound album, from top to bottom, all the features, everybody that was on there, Rage, everybody, that album right there for me in 1994, oh yeah. And I quickly chose a side. Like I said, I hate that moment in hip hop. I wish it had never happened. Chose a side.
Oh, you chose West Coast.
All day long.
Okay.
All day. Remember, we had that conversation. Got love for the East Coast. Got love for the East Coast, but I chose a side because of something personal that had happened. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
I'm out there selling the T-shirts and the dudes, whatever. So I chose a side by default. We'll talk about that one later. But anyway.
That album, Dog Pound.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's the one with the cartoons on the front.
Yeah.
Right.
He on the dog house.
Yeah, he came through and he smashed the buildings. Snoop Dogg was the guy right there. And to me, a lot of hip hop sounded in that range, musically. Mm-hmm. Right, the sample, the what Parliament is who Dre was messing with a lot. Yeah. Back then, Warren G, they had it in a headlock. And there are certain eras in hip hop that I hate when certain camps have it in a headlock. Remember when Ja Rule and Nelly had it in a headlock? That era was not for me.
But you know what I think the cause of that is, though? T-Pain said it best. Do something different. I think what happens is somebody start this trend and everybody start chasing it. Yeah. Everybody's afraid to be original.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this once before, but you had the Gap Band, SOS Band. Everybody sounded different. Nobody wanted to sound like this one.
Yeah.
But you're right. I do not like when to me it's in a headlock today a little bit. Everybody chasing Migos, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I think the Migos got that on lock. I love what they're doing. But everybody trying to sound like Migos instead of just being original. All the women trying to sound like Nicki Minaj instead of just being original. Yeah. But to your point, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, but that's that and Dog Food, right? That's the one with the Dog Pound, right? Those were two albums that were fringe. They had a couple skippable moments to where they couldn't quite make it, but those and then the Chronic. Yeah, so they
Chronic was
had
close.
It. They had it.
Now the Chronic is another. It didn't make my top 5, but it was.
They were doing their thing, but what I was listening for back then. You know what I'm saying? I like even though Dre and them out there, I like SIBO. I like what's the one cat? He used to do a lot of stuff with Pac back then. I like E40. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of other stuff that was new at that time too.
Okay.
E40 and the Click was new. I've
seen like an Ant Banks,
second
to none type dude, man.
Second to none, you know what I'm saying? DJ Quick, all of that. So at one point I did have love for Cali, but besides Game, to me they ain't really cap it up too much. Maybe Kendrick.
I was gonna say you ain't like Kendrick.
I'm just now getting into him, but no.
What's my man name? You need to check out my man. What's his name? I forgot his name real quick, man. Y'all forgive me for doing this on y'all real quick. D Smoke. Check out D Smoke. He a LA cat. You might like D Smoke.
All right.
Check it. Oh, you ain't like Nipsey? Talking about LA? You ain't like Nipsey?
I got a homeboy from Cincinnati when I lived up there, and he was with all that.
Okay, gotcha.
And try to
Yeah.
force all of that on me, and just it wasn't the same way I'm trying to force OJ the Juice Man on him. It just wasn't.
OJ the Juice Man. OJ the Juice. Boy, I ain't heard that name in a minute.
He got one on here that was on the Friends, but I ain't gonna get into that.
You gonna leave that alone? Talk about it, man.
Look, no.
Look, this is our podcast.
It's on the Friends. It's on the Friends.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't worry about running folk off. They run off, then they weren't meant to be.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Liquid Swords, the GZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. This is probably one of my favorite.
What was that? 90 what? 90 what? 5?
Probably 95.
95.
This is back when RZA was producing almost the majority of tracks on the albums.
Yeah.
The GZA, I don't necessarily like his voice.
What?
It's weird, whatever. But when he says some stuff, the words. The words tend to mean more to me than sometimes the noise, which can be a voice or a beat.
You listening for the content, the meaning behind it.
Right. Or the vibe. When he starts getting in his pockets, that album right there is play front to back and some of the top rhyme of the months in the source. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know, that album birthed, and that was, to me, that was hip hop meeting new and still being
It was
connected
that bridge.
to that.
He didn't lose.
Yep,
He didn't get
yep.
too lost in this and
Right,
that.
right.
But it's like the dude said, I forgot the man that said it. Nobody ever bought an album or bought a song, listened to a song because of a snare drum. It was the lyrics that hit you emotionally. So it's one of those things where, depending on where you were at that time in your life, what you had going on, a lot of people gonna have a different feel. If you from Memphis, Tennessee, Miami, LA, New York, Detroit, you probably feel a little different. So that being said, comment below. Let us know your top 5 Let It Ride all time. We're not necessarily saying the best 5 albums ever. We're saying your top 5, your fave 5 Let It Ride. What we down to, man? 1 each. Am I right?
I believe so. This is the last round.
You want me to go or you want to go?
Go ahead, do your thing.
Got to go with my man Tupac, Me Against the World. That album right there, man, that was my perfect mix of West Coast, East Coast. A lot of people don't realize Tupac had love for the East Coast. A lot of people don't realize that. And if you listen to that album, some of those tracks had that East Coast feel to it. I'm not going to say he had an East Coast flow. I'm not going there. But it gave me enough of that soul funk that I like with that East Coast sound that I like. And it was just a perfect album for me. That album, Tupac, Me Against the World. I know you ain't got Pac on yours, so I'm curious to hear your laugh. Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute, let's recap real quick. We both had OutKast. You had Liquid Swords. What else you have?
Life After Death.
Life After Death. And what was the other one?
Southern Playalistic.
Southern Playalistic. So, dang, now you know what? Knowing you the way I think you know you, I was going to try to take a guess at this one right here. But I'm probably, Oh, I know what you're going to say.
What's that?
Illmatic.
Nah, Illmatic's not all the way through for me.
Okay.
It was written as more front to back than Illmatic, but Illmatic is still strong. But I'm going with something mildly current. This J Electronica, A Written Testimony.
Not the one in, wait a minute, what was that?
2020.
Oh, the one he just did.
2020.
Last year, yeah. Okay.
So this album's been getting a lot of
sleeping on it.
You know, and I remember having XM Sirius Satellite and listening to whoever it was play that Exhibit back to back to back, Exhibit C. And, Exhibit A is even better than that to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say words mean more to me than beats or outside noise, this is a guy, whenever he drops something, that I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
I think the problem with that, I ain't gonna say problem, my bad. That's wrong wording. I think that album was dropped in a time of ignorance. Nobody wants to listen to real music anymore. Nobody wants to hear a complete project. And if you follow J Electronica, he don't make songs, no disrespect, he don't make songs for TikToks. He don't do sound bites. He makes a complete song. And in the era that we're in right now, if you're not a real head, it's going to be hard. And I think that's the problem with that album. I think if that album was released 10 years ago, it probably would get more love. Now, I do need to finish listening to the album, but J Electronica is a guy that you really have to sit down and listen to the lyrics.
And this is what I have issue with when people talk about music and saying, oh, XYZ, what have they done lately? They fell off. They did this.
Yeah.
The majority of your favorite rappers or rappers that you used to be into are probably still somewhere making music.
But you just not checking for it.
You ain't on a whatever site to find it. You know, and if it's hard to find, I get it. You know, we ain't go.
It ain't hard to find if you want it. You can,
I'm a digging in the crate guy.
There you go.
Like the Crew. You get what I'm saying?
Like LL Cool J said, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Right.
Yeah.
So, he's been dropping one-offs here and there, and and
talking about Electronica.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some are, different vibes. So a lot of stuff I listen to is probably more on the street side.
Okay.
But this is going to allow me to get on a conscious level, on a that's what Wu-Tang was for me. That's what Nas was for me. You know what I'm saying? These are conscious dudes. So he hits that real well, And I don't look at Jay-Z being on there as a crutch because this is how Jay-Z wants to rap.
That there you go.
You know, so
Yeah.
this is
and
this
that's
is,
real. A lot of people are
this
gonna
is-
see that the wrong way, but it's real.
He told you.
He
You know
said
what
it
I'm
out his
saying?
mouth.
Since common since
Ain't been
common
rapping
sense
since
or
common
something, You know what I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah.
So this is Jay and his. I don't have to be this billionaire. I don't have to be this face of this company in that bag. And
Yeah.
then Jay Electronica still,
Yeah.
shine beside that. So, anybody that says something about that, I don't even want to talk about music with you. Because, it all touches us in a different way. But, if it's on the radio, I don't know what the radio sounds like.
Man, the radio's garbage, man. You listen.
don't know.
I don't want to
I'm
disrespect
not
the radio,
interested.
but yeah,
So,
I'm not interested.
You know what I'm saying? I go, how'd I find Bankroll Fresh before he blew up? Went on a mixtape joint, and his joint looked like a Cash Money CD. Who is this? Trying to be like Cash Money. Oh, this is fire music.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I find it how I find it and not let it be force fed to me. And that written testimony was too smart.
Yeah.
Like you said, for the majority of people who listen, music ain't made for probably personal consumption. It's probably made for whatever you can monetize and sell and shake.
And too many people are afraid to get back into music
poison.
that's about the real music. It's the problem. Everybody, there's nothing wrong with monetizing it, but don't lose yourself and do it. Don't sell out. I'll say it that way. Recap. Top 5, Let It Ride. I had Tupac, Me Against the World, Snoop, Dogg Pound, Jay-Z. 2 Jay-Z's, Blueprint and American Gangster, and OutKast Southern Playalistic. I'm Van Gaither. You can follow me, VANNGAITHER. Got my man over here, Counterculture Robs. What'd you have over that recap?
I had that Southern Playalistic, OutKast, written testimony, Jay Electronica, Liquid Swords, GZA. And then what was it? Notorious B.I.G. Disc 1. Hold up.
No, I thought you said Disc 2.
Disc 1.
This one?
Yeah, Disc 1.
Disc
Notorious
1.
B.I.G.
Yeah. There it is, everybody. Comment below. Let us know what your top 5 Let It Ride is. We'll maybe even talk about yours. Stay tuned for the next podcast coming soon. Platinum Mics. Hit the link below. Subscribe so you'll be notified when we dropping. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm Van Gaither. My man, Counterculture Rob. Shout out to Michael McFadden over here, Power 108.9, for letting us use up his space. See y'all later, man. Be good. Support the artists like you. What is it? Support the unknown like you support the known. Help the young ones out. Help the ones up and coming out.
Go find something.
Yeah, stream something. Download something.